Radzi Ahmad for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. The Sarawak government proposes a revival of the Borneo Games. The body of the final missing student in a tragic boat capsizing incident in Lundu has been found this morning. Protests erupt in several cities in Indonesia after voting on changes to an election law is delayed. The Sarawak government is proposing a revival of the Borneo Games. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said the idea was put forward to him by the Minister of Youth and Sports, Hannah Yeoh.
He explained that a sporting event will involve countries and Borneo, which include Malaysia with Sarawak and Sabah, Kalimantan, Indonesia and Brunei.
And I am towing the idea yang berhormat Belia Sukan Menteri. We want to have Borneo Games, iaitu acara sukan untuk negara-negara di Borneo, iaitu Malaysia terdiri pada Sabah dan Sarawak, negara jiran kita Borneo, Brunei Darussalam dan Indonesia Kalimantan. Dan insya-Allah I will now bring up this idea dengan rakan-rakan kita.
He said this in his speech during the Sarawak Malaysia Games Sukma 2024 dinner at the Borneo Convention Centre, Kuching on Wednesday night. Abang Johari believes the Borneo Games could become a platform to discover international-level athletes from around Borneo. The first Borneo Games were organised by Brunei in 1954. Sabah, Sarawak and Brunei then took turns hosting the Games before it was held for the final time in 2009.
The federal government's confidence in Sarawak's ability to host the 21st Malaysia Games Sukma Sarawak is a key factor in realizing the theme Spirit of Unity Burning. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg highlighted that hosting Sukma has given Sarawak the opportunity to unite its citizens, promoting a harmonious Malaysia.
Jadi, apa Sarawak nak cuba contribute ialah to unite all Malaysian as well as by extension our neighbours. Dengan itu tidak ada selisih faham di antara kita. Against that background, kami di Sarawak ini kalau diberi peluang dan of course lah within our affordability, kita kata, for the sake of the country, Sarawak will contribute.
Abang Johari said that this Sukma edition also serves as a platform for Sarawak to integrate and test digital and technological advancements with sports elements in line with the post-COVID-19 development strategy PCDS 2030. According to him, this digital advancement allows sports events held in 9 divisions across Sarawak to be broadcasted to audiences nationwide.
Kita nampak all our events are well covered. Walaupun jauh di Miri, Bintulu, Mukah, Betong, Sri Aman, Kuching, all are covered. Because we have television Sarawak, TVS, yang cover the whole lot. And this is another contribution besar RTM. Tapi kita TVS hanya news saja, yang lain program all cancel. Kita fokus on Sukma, and then everybody in Sarawak, for that matter, the whole country, through 122 channel 122, and also streaming, can see what's happening in Sarawak. Bermakna semangat tu ada, dan inilah semangat perpaduan yang mengembara. Dan saya yakin bahawa Sukma dia akan datang. Kita mempunyai semangat yang sedemikian.
Abang Johari further said that Sarawak has successfully proven that digitalization could unite people.
Meanwhile, the 2024 Malaysia Games Sukma Sarawak in the land of the Hornbills has given the Sarawak government an opportunity to enhance the region's sports facilities. State Minister of Youth, Sports and Entrepreneur Development, Dato' Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said that this was achieved through joint funding from both the Sarawak government and the federal government.
Selain berperanan untuk menjungkil bakat-bakat sukan generasi muda, Sukma juga dilihat dapat memberi ruang kepada negeri-negeri yang menjadi tuan rumah untuk mengubah suai, untuk menaik taraf prasarana dan juga kemudahan sukan.
He noted that hosts must engage in comprehensive planning in all aspects to prepare for the event. He added that the collaboration among ministries, departments, agencies and associations at the federal and state levels in Sarawak plays a key role in ensuring the successful organization of the event.
Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg received a courtesy call from the President-elect of the Malaysian Medical Association, MMA, Dato' Dr. Kalwinder Singh Khaira at Wisma Bapa Malaysia earlier today. Dr. Kalwinder said he extended an invitation to the Premier to attend the upcoming National MMA Annual General Meeting or AGM and Scientific Conference, which will be held this coming September.
The 5th, so it's on the 5th, 6th and 7th of September at Riverside Majestic Hotel. Will be there. So we expect around 300 to 400, even more delegates from all over the country to come here. So I think it will be a good time for all doctors from all over the country who will be coming to Kuching at that time. And we had invited our respected Premier to be the guest of honor, and also we paid a courtesy call on him today to grace the event.
He said this when met by reporters after the visit. Also present during the courtesy call was the Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian. Dr. Kalwinder highlighted the Premier's strong interest in healthcare within Sarawak, noting that their discussion focused on the progress and ongoing enhancements in the state's healthcare sector, particularly in regard to Sarawak's healthcare autonomy.
The Premier has, he's always shown a keen interest in healthcare, so we had a good discussion on the progression and on the movement of the improvement of the healthcare in Sarawak, and and also some discussion on how to move around with the autonomy. So on the whole, it was a very good interaction and a discussion. And YB has always been supportive of the Malaysian Medical Association. He has attended quite a number of our functions before. So it's always our honor to invite him when we have our functions here.
Meanwhile, Dr. Kalwinder also said that he is slated to assume the MMA presidency at the upcoming AGM. The body of the final missing student in the tragic boat capsize incident in Sungai Kayan, Kampung Selampit, Lundu, has been found this morning. Acting Sarawak Fire and Rescue Department Bomba Director Tiong Ling Hee confirmed that the body of 14-year-old Alsma Jitil was discovered floating upstream around 6:38 a.m., about 100 meters from where the capsize occurred. With the discovery of the third body, the search and rescue operation at the river jetty ended, bringing much closure to the distraught family. On Wednesday, the bodies of two victims, 15-year-old Vilky Wilson was found floating about 10 meters from the fire and rescue control post at 11:58 a.m., while the body of 17-year-old Helena Fasha Petrus was found floating 1 kilometer from the scene of the incident at 5:30 p.m. In the 6:10 a.m. incident on Tuesday, a boat carrying 20 people sank in Sungai Kayan, with 17 victims rescued, while 3 victims were reported missing. In other news, the Royal Malaysian Customs Department, JKDM, in Sarawak seized over 1 million cigarettes of various brands with an estimated duty and tax value of over 840,000 ringgit, stored in a container at the Eastwood Industrial Area in Miri. Its director, Norizan Yahya, said the seizure was conducted following a patrol in the area around 11:30 a.m. on August 14, where they discovered a suspicious container, leading to an inspection. However, no individual claimed ownership of the 6-meter container, which was found locked in an abandoned open space near an electrical substation. Sarawak Customs proceeded to confiscate the container and the cigarettes inside, estimated to be worth 111,324 ringgit, with a total duty and tax valued at 730,888 ringgit 40 cents. According to Norizan, the syndicate's modus operandi involves storing untaxed cigarettes in a container placed in an open area to avoid detection by authorities. He said the case is being investigated under Section 135(1)(d) of the Customs Act 1967, which, upon conviction, could result in a fine of up to 500,000 ringgit, imprisonment for up to 5 years, or both. He added that JKDM is working to track down the owner of the goods.
Sempena istiadat pertabalan ke bawah Duli Yang Maha Mulia Seri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong ke-17 Sultan Ibrahim, Jabatan Museum Malaysia telah menganjurkan pameran Raja Kita yang akan berlangsung dari 26 Julai hingga 29 September 2024 bertempat di Galeri 1 dan 2 Jabatan Museum Malaysia. Jumpa anda di sana.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim said BRICS countries, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, are supportive of Malaysia's wish to join the group. In an interview with India Today Global, Anwar said Malaysia is very fortunate for the positive support shown, even though Malaysia is only in the early stages of BRICS membership process.
The interview was held in conjunction with his 3-day official visit to India, which concluded on Wednesday. He also told the interview that Malaysia will be a BRICS partner country first before full participation is finalized, adding that the decision will be held during the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia in October. BRICS was established in 2009 as a platform for emerging economies comprising Brazil, Russia, India and China, with South Africa joining in 2010. Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia and the United Arab Emirates were admitted into the organization in January of this year. Earlier, Anwar noted that his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi has agreed to support Malaysia's bid to join the group, reinforcing the growing collaboration between the two nations.
Several roads leading to Sarawak Stadium will be closed from 3 p.m. on Saturday to ensure smooth traffic flow during the closing ceremony of the 2024 Malaysia Games, Sukma. Kuching Police Chief ACP Muhammad Farhan Lee Abdullah said 12 routes will be affected by the closures, including the Sasko Roundabout, Kasuma Resort Roundabout, and the junction from Sumber Alam to Sarawak Stadium. Other affected routes include the entrance to Sarawak Stadium from Jalan Stadium and Jalan Diplomatic, the access road to Pandalela Rinong Aquatic Center, Jalan Padang Gasing, the entry lane to the bus parking area, and Jalan Stadium leading to the public parking junction. Thus, Farhan advised the public to use the designated alternative routes to access public parking areas near the stadium. Once the closing ceremony ends, the public is advised to exit via Jalan Diplomatic towards Demak and Jalan Stadium towards Jalan Kaswarina. He also urged the public to avoid parking along the roadside and to plan their journeys using alternative routes to minimize congestion. Malaysia's leading telecommunications and digital services provider, Maxis, has introduced 5G Advanced, also known as 5.5G, to elevate the experience of major sporting events like the Malaysia Games Sukma to a new level. Maxis's Chief Technology Strategy Officer, Tan Cheng Peng, said this technology offers 10 times faster access speeds, the capability to connect over 10 times more devices, and is 5 times more responsive than 5G. For Sukma, the focus was on two key applications, smart watching and smart AI analytics, both of which were implemented at the Cebu Indoor Stadium during the badminton matches.
So smart watching is the 360 camera, and then we can actually showcase action, fast moving action in badminton, and we can actually replay it after each match highlight. And then the other one is the smart analytics that we are showcasing today. We're able to tell the demographic of the spectators who is visiting, their gender, their age, and also some of their profile that we can actually share with the organizer of Sukma.
The integration of artificial intelligence (AI) in 5G advanced technology allows for the analysis of attendees and the detection of crowd movements, helping organizers in managing and enhancing the execution of large-scale events. At the Cebu Indoor Stadium, 60 units of 360-degree 4K quality video cameras were installed around the venue to capture match highlights. These cameras can pause fast-paced moments and rotate to view exciting highlights of athletes from different angles.
So we are looking at 5G Advanced can help Malaysia advance the economy by staying more competitive. So 5G Advanced can be applied to smart manufacturing, logistics, and as well as smart city and others, healthcare and also education. So Maxis continue to work with all the stakeholders to actually frontline this technology to the mainstream, and we are ready to roll out 5G Advanced in Malaysia if given the opportunity.
The 5G advanced technology enables live streaming, which is then sent to Sukma Sarawak's official broadcaster, TVS. TVS will then feature this footage in daily post-match highlights for public consumption.
16 September 1963, tarikh keramat Sarawak, Borneo Utara dan Tanah Melayu, tiga suara menjadi satu membentuk negara bangsa Malaysia.
Apabila kita merujuk kepada perjanjian Malaysia itu, kita kena tahu Cobol Commission punya report, kita kena tahu IGC punya report, jadi lepas tu baru kita dapat gambaran.
Namun perjuangan tidak terhenti, perjanjian Malaysia 1963 terus menjadi panduan.
You must acknowledge our right, and we are doing what we are doing now is based on our right berasaskan pada perlembagaan dan Malaysian Agreement, itu saja.
Saksikan laporan khas Hari Malaysia
Bermula 15 Ogos ini
hanya di TVS saluran 122.
Indonesia's parliament delayed voting on changes to an election law on Thursday due to protests erupting in several cities. Many are upset as they believe the changes would give more power and political influence to outgoing President Joko Widodo. It is unclear if the Indonesian parliament would reconvene to pass the law, but it is seen as a race against time before the registration for regional elections opens next Tuesday.
The parliament was set to approve changes that would have overturned a recent court decision. These changes would have blocked a strong rival of the government from running for Jakarta governor and paved the way for President Widodo's youngest son to run in elections in Java this November. This clash between parliament and the judiciary comes during a week of major political events in Indonesia as President Widodo nears the end of his second term. Widodo dismissed concerns on Wednesday, saying the court ruling and parliamentary discussions were just part of the usual checks and balances. The Home Affairs Minister added that the changes were meant to provide legal clarity. According to local media, more than 1,000 demonstrators gathered outside the parliament building in Jakarta and across multiple cities in Java on Thursday, with some accusing Widodo of destroying democracy. Legal experts and political analysts have described the power struggle as bordering on a constitutional crisis. Meanwhile, Indonesia's rupiah and Jakarta's main stock index slumped on midday Thursday, hit by concerns of protests, as well as the country's widening current account deficit. Earlier on Tuesday, Indonesia's constitutional court removed the minimum threshold needed to nominate candidates in regional elections, but kept the minimum age limit for candidates at 30 years. That ruling effectively blocks the candidacy of the president's 29-year-old son from contesting the race for deputy governor in central Java and would allow Anies Baswedan, the current favorite, to run in Jakarta. But within 24 hours, the parliament had tabled an emergency revision to annul the changes, with all parties but one agreed to the revision of the law. Widodo is facing mounting criticism for the increasingly bold ways his government is consolidating power and over the creation of his own political dynasty. First elected in 2014, Widodo was at the time hailed as a democratic hero. The president has been praised for his solid economic record, but increasingly criticized for the democratic decline of the country's institutions during his decade in office.
Divers searching the wreckage of the super yacht Bayesian, which sank off the coast of Sicily on Monday, have recovered 4 of the 5 bodies found from the 6 missing passengers. The Italian Coast Guard has not yet formally identified the bodies, but the search has focused on 4 Britons and 2 Americans. Among them are UK entrepreneur Mike Lynch, his teenage daughter Hannah Lynch, and Jonathan Bloomer, the chairman of Morgan Stanley Bank International, along with his wife.
The first 2 bodies were recovered and brought ashore to Porticello's harbor on Wednesday afternoon. Hours later, 2 more bodies were pulled from the water, but the search was paused as nightfall approached. The vessel, the Bayesian, sank early Monday during a freak weather event approximately 700 meters off the coast. It is believed that a waterspout, a tornado over water, struck the vessel, causing it to capsize and sink 50 meters to the seabed. Throughout Wednesday, a steady stream of boats ferried divers to and from the search site. Dozens of emergency service personnel lined the small quayside, awaiting the return of the missing bodies from the wreck area. Italian authorities have so far declined to officially identify the recovered bodies, despite reports from local and international media suggesting some names.
A blast in an Indian pharmaceutical factory on Wednesday killed at least 17 people. Local media on Thursday reported that the force of the blast had been so strong it left severed body parts scattered around the site. Most of the victims also suffered extensive chemical burns, with their skin peeling off as a result of the blast.
The fire broke out on Wednesday afternoon at a 16-hectare pharmaceutical unit in Andhra Pradesh's Anakapalli district. The company manufactures intermediate chemicals and active pharmaceutical ingredients. The incident took place during lunchtime at the factory, and many workers escaped unhurt as they were on lunch break. Authorities said rescue operations are over with a final toll of 17 dead and 34 injured. Investigators believe the blast was caused by a gas leak, which eventually hit an electrical panel. Local police official told the Indian Express Daily that those caught in the blast suffered horrific chemical burns. In a post on social media, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was pained by the loss of lives and announced a monetary compensation to the families of those killed. Last year, similar accident occurred at another pharma factory in Anakapali, killing 2 people and injuring 5 others.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms at TV Sarawak. And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I am Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching and have a good night.